Okay. Okay. You read example number 5. Okay. Buat example number 5 dulu. Dia tadi disconnected. Okay. Can you hear me? So now you please do the example 5 dulu. Okay. Do example 5 dulu, and then I will reconnect myself. Okay, I think you can you hear me? All right, good. So read example 5. Okay. Now I will get back to the notes. Sekarang saya nak dapatkan balik benda tadi tu. Note. Okay. Alright. Okay, balik ah. Tadi dia betul-betul apa? Disconnected. Yang tu tengok semuanya habis. So saya tak tahulah. Kadang-kadang benda ni terjadi. Alright. So now you look at example number 5. You are given the function. So what you need first is what? What I need first is to get the market equilibrium. Okay. Now, how do I get the market equilibrium? To get the market equilibrium, you just equate the demand function. So, for example, number 5. So, what you need first is what? Is the equilibrium. So, you need to find the market equilibrium. So, for market equilibrium, we know what? We know demand should be equal to the supply, because you want to find consumer supplies. So demand equal to supply, and you have the demand equal to P equal to what? The square root of 49 minus 6x. So 49 minus 6x, everything to the power of a half, equal to the supply function, which is x plus 1. And you bring the square root to the other side. We got 49 minus 6x equal to x plus 1 to the power of 2. So if you look at the book, okay, you go look at the book, you will get the quadratic function, and then you find the roots. You work this out, okay? So you go home, understand it. If you forget, then you get back the formula, x equal to negative b plus or minus 2. Okay, do this if you forgot. So that will be equal to, I will just get the answer because we need the time. So x equal to 4 and negative 12. Now the negative value, as we know, is not relevant for applications. Okay, so application we only consider the negative positive value. So therefore, x is equal to 4 only. So we consider only this one. All right. So when x equal to 4, that will be xe. Okay, x equal to 4, that is the equilibrium quantity. So based on that, I have to find PE. All right. So how do you go find PE? You substitute xe equal to 4 into what? Into either the demand or into the supply. Doesn't matter. It's up to you. But put into the supply. It's easier. So I got the xe equal to 4. So PE is equal to x plus 1 equal to 4 plus 1, you will get 5. So now you got PE 5, XE 4. So you look at the diagram in the book. Okay, if you know, for this one, it's good to sketch the curve. We just sketch the graph, you know, to see the equilibrium price, to see the equilibrium quantity, to see the consumer supplies, and then you know what we are doing. Okay. So just refer to the figure beside that example, you will see the diagram. Now, consumer surplus is equal to what? You know the consumer surplus, I will write down again here, the integral from 0 to xe of the demand function minus the integral from 0 to xe of the price. Okay, when I say price here, PE lah, I put PE. And that is equal to what? That is equal to the integral from 0 to xe of the demand function, which is 49 minus 6x to the power of half dx. Okay, and then I don't have a space. Okay, I may not have enough space to write everything, but I want you to complete it, right? So 0 to, okay, now I'm sorry, the xe itu kita put in the value. Xe is up to 4. Okay, so put in the value. So 0 to 4 here of 5 dx. Okay, good. I have the space. Now, if you look at the integral, this one is easy to find. Okay, but this one is not so easy. So what you do, you get the integral of this thing. So you put it out first, find the integral. So the integral from 0 to 4. So now you just need to find the integral. So don't worry about the definite integral. So you just need to find the integral of that function, which is not so easy. Okay, so 49 minus 6x to the power of half dx. Oh, okay, I give you 2 minutes. Okay, get the integral of this one. Use the power rule. Okay, do it now. You let u be equal to the terms in the bracket, and then you need to find u prime. So finish it up. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, you got it? Okay, now, if I let u be equal to the 49 minus 6x, what is u prime? U prime is equal to negative 6x. So in order for you to get the u prime, which is negative 6x, you have to multiply by what? Into the integral. You multiply by what? What you have is what? What you have is only 1, which is not equal to the u prime. Okay? U prime is negative 6. So to get negative 6, what do we do? I give you 3 minutes to what? Anybody? Multiply by what? What ratio? Ratio of what numbers?
Negative 6 over negative 6.
You multiply by negative 6 over negative 6 because we want negative 6. You don't multiply by negative 6 over 6 because you remember the ratio must equal 1. Okay. Now I know some people may multiply by negative 6 over 6. We cannot do that. Why? Because that is equal to negative 1. Now, when you have a negative 1, everything will change. So this is not the way. You multiply by what? Ratio equal to 1. So you multiply by negative 6 over negative 6. The integral will be 1 over negative 6. And then you put in the negative 6 on the top inside. Negative 6 dx. So here, this is the u, that's u prime. So you got the form. So therefore, that will be equal to what? That will be equal to negative 1 over 6 u, okay, to the power of 3 over 2. Everything divided by 3 over 2. And that will be equal to negative 1/9. You put in the u in terms of x, so 49 minus 6x to the power of 3/2. So that is the integral. Okay. Now, when you get that integral, kita sambung balik lah. So we continue from here. That will be equal to the integral, which already we found here. All right. So that will be equal to negative 1/9. 1/9 multiplied by 49 minus 6x to the power of 3/2. From where? From 0 to 4. Minus. Okay, minus. If I can put it there. Let's take out everything there. Minus the integral of 5x. Okay, 5x because you have only 5. Integrate from 0 to 4. So that is the integral. Okay, all right. Now, the answer should be 4.22. So I want you to work it out, okay? Work it out. Substitute the x, you get the value of this one, you get the value of that one, and then find the integral. The step in the book, we miss, we jump, okay? We jump 1 or 2 steps. So I want you to go into the detail, all right? Go into the detail. That means you add a few more steps so that we get 4.22. Okay, now I give you another 2 minutes. Okay, work this out, substitute, get the value. Okay, go ahead, do it now. Okay, you got it? So what you do, you put in the numbers that will be equal to the following. You will get negative 1/9. Okay, and then you put in the 49 minus 6 times 4. Okay, and then everything 3/2. All right, so you get something here. So I want you to get, all right? And then that is for the first integral. Minus, okay, minus the value at 0. So you got negative minus 1/9. Wah, panjang agak nih cerita dia ni. Negative 1/9, you got a minus. Minus a negative of 1/9. Okay, multiplied by 49 minus 6 times 0. So you don't assume that when you evaluate the integral at 0, you get 0. Okay, it's not, because that will depend on the function. So you got here 49 to the power of 3/2. Okay, now you put another bracket because that is the integral of the demand function. So it's not just everything here integrate from, you evaluate at 4, you minus 0, no. You have to minus the thing, okay? And then you minus 5 times 4, okay? 5 times 4, 0 tu, ini kita buat juga lah, just to show that we do the difference. So 5 times 0. So put another big bracket. So of course, the second one is just 20. 20 minus 5, that's easy. So 20 minus 5, you've got 20, 20 minus 0, I'm sorry, it's 20. Now, this thing here, you need to be careful. So you got here negative, 1/9, and here negative and negative. So this one become positive, okay? The first term become negative. So the first term, you got negative 1/9, 49 minus 24. Cantik tu. 49 minus 24, you got 25. Okay, so 25, the square root 25 is 5. 5 multiplied by 3, multiply 5 to the power of 3. Berapa? 25. 25 times 5 is 75. Is that right? 75, right? 75. And then you do the second one. Negative and negative become positive, so 1/9. Multiplied by 49 to the power of 3/2. So 49 to the power of 3/2, square root of 49 is 7. 7 to the power of 3. Itu susah sikit apa-apa. So you work out, all right? Don't just tell me the solution. Work this thing out. So that's why I said it requires another 2 or 3 steps before we come up with the answer. So make sure the signs are correct. And then you do the subtraction. You should get 4.22. Now, did you get 4.22 or you did not? By working, okay? Not just by looking, okay? By working. You work it out. Do you get 4.22 or you don't? If you don't get, okay, you can go home, continue. Okay, so if you cannot get it now, you continue at home. Okay, finish it out. If you get, that's good. But if you don't get, that means something is wrong somewhere, probably the way you add, or the way you take the power. So go home, work it again. Okay, all right. Anybody get 4.22? Tak ada siapa dapat lagi?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So if you don't, siapkan kat rumah. Okay, good. So now, let's look at the producer supplies. So we are given here the supply function as well. Okay, so you're given the supply function in this example. You have the supply function, which is what? Which is, not this one. I'm sorry. The example that we're looking at now, supply function is equal to, when you get the market equilibrium, you are given the supply function, which is x plus 1, linear function. So you have the x plus 1, the supply function. So therefore, we can also now find the producer surplus. So producer surplus is, as we know, the area between the demand, the area between the market price and the supply function. So if you look at the book, okay, look at the book, example number 5, on the left side, you will have the diagram there. So the diagram, the area below, I'm sorry, not the diagram, the area below the supply function, that would be what? That would be the producer surplus. So producer surplus is the area under the market price and the supply function. So can you see the producer surplus? If you have the book, if you don't have the book, then nothing you can do. Okay, for those who have book in front of you, can you see the producer surplus? It's the area, okay, between the market price and the supply function. Can you see that? Nampak tak? Nampak ke tak nampak?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. If you don't have the book, then you go home, locate it. Okay? Now, producer surplus is equal to what? producer surplus, as we know, is equal to the integral from 0 to xe of the market price, PE, dx, minus the integral from 0 to xe of the supply function. So for this example, you already have the equilibrium. So therefore, there will be the integral from 0 to equilibrium quantity for market price is 5, the constant function, minus the integral from 0 to 4 of the supply function, which is the linear function. Now you can do the subtraction first and then do the integral so that we end up doing only one integral. Because this function is quite, you can add, okay? It's quite simple. But for the demand function, you cannot do that because the demand function is quite difficult. You know, you have to do the power rule to get the integral. So we do the subtraction first. So that will be equal to the integral from 0 to 4 of what? 5 minus x minus 1. So I do the difference right away. So you got 5 minus x minus 1. Is that right? Yeah, betul. Dx. And that equal to integral from 0 to 4 of 4 minus x dx. Okay, all right. So this one is very easy. Finish up. Okay, finish it up. I'll give you 2 minutes. So what you will get, I don't know. You know, we don't get the answer because the book here, they ask us only to find the consumer surplus. Okay, finish it up. I think you can do this very quickly. You can do the integration right away. Okay, dapat. All right, good. Okay, got it? Berapa dapat? What is the value? So what is it? So if you do the integral, they'll be equal to what? They'll be equal to 4x minus x squared over 2, evaluated from 0 to 4. So they'll be equal to 4. Betul tak? Betul tak sini? Okay, you check man. 4 times 4 minus 4 squared over 2. So that is, when you evaluate at 4 minus, here 0. So 0, 0 lah. Letak 0 lah because you multiply. No. I think to get it to be consistent. So we put in 0. Okay, kita put 0 for the sake of, you know, to show that it is, we will get whatever that you get to be 0. Kalau you put the 0 nanti, we you know, sometimes it may not be 0. So you got 0. So ini confirm lah 0. Okay, so that it could be 0. Yang sini berapa ni? So you got 16 minus 8. Okay, 16 minus 8, that will be equal to 8. 8 minus 0, 8. Betul tak? Betul? Or am I wrong? Or am I right? Okay, so that is our producer surplus. Okay, so producer surplus equal to 8. All right. Okay, good. So now we look at another example just on the producer surplus. So we go to example number 7. So it's okay, you know, we consider more examples than less. So example number 7, we are looking at consumer surplus. I'm sorry, producer surplus. You are given the supply function. Okay, a supply function x squared plus x. You want to find the producer surplus if equilibrium price is 20. So if you look at the diagram, okay, the diagram of the curve x squared plus x, the y-intercept is 0. So the curve would be something like this. So that is our demand function, P equal to x squared plus x. That's the supply function, I'm sorry. And then suppose the equilibrium price is here. That means there will be some demand function lah. Okay, demand function we don't know. They are not given. But you know the intercept, demand and supply give you the equilibrium price. That is 20. Okay, so what do we need? We need the equilibrium quantity. Okay, so our question is now, first of all, you need to find XE. Okay, how do we do it? We substitute PE to equal to 20 into the supply function. P equal to x squared plus x. So P equal to x squared plus x. That will be what? That will be equal to 20 equal to x squared plus x. Ini susah sikit ah. So you got a quadratic function x squared plus x minus 20. That is equal to 0. So here, okay, you will get x plus 5, x minus 4. Nah, kalau function macam ni, 5 and 4, senang. Anybody learn about this method? The cross method. So here you got x squared. Bawah tu you got 5 and 4. So 5x minus 4x. So you got 4. You know? So you got 1 plus x. So that's how you got there. All right. But if you don't know this method, this method may not be workable for every function. For every function, you need to remember formula ni lah. X equal to negative b, negative b plus or minus apa ni? Plus or minus b squared minus 4ac, everything divided by 2a. So yang ni you have to remember lah, you know. For exam, we just don't rely on the computer, on your calculator to get the roots, all right? We have to know how to do it. So that's the formula. So you got x equal to 5, x equal to 4, and x equal to negative 5. So you know the negative value is not relevant. So you got 4, negative 5. So this one out. So x equal to 4. So x equal to 4. So your homework, I want you to do it. Okay, do it this way. You get to find the value of the x such that the function is equal to 0. Okay, okay, good. Okay, formula ni. Okay, so what you get is 4, and then what you want is producer surplus. And you know the area producer surplus is here. The difference between the equilibrium price and the supply function. So that is our producer surplus. Okay, all right. So you get the formula. What is the formula? The formula for the producer surplus, we write it down. Producer surplus is equal to the integral from 0 to xe, the equilibrium price, minus the integral from 0 to xe of the supply function. And that will be equal to the integral from 0 to 4, equilibrium quantity of 20 dx, that is equilibrium price, minus the integral of x squared plus x dx. Okay, x squared plus x dx, straightforward. So we can, you know what we can do? We can take the difference first. So that will be equal to the integral from 0 to 4 of 20 minus x squared minus x dx. We can do that. Then that will be equal to what? That will be equal to 20x minus x cubed over 3 minus x squared over 2. Evaluated from 0 to 4. So as you can see, the answer is given in the book. Okay, you will get 50.67. So you put in the value here 4. I think there is one more step. Okay, one more step, and then you get 50.67. Okay. All right. So that will do it for the chapter 13. So we are done. Okay, that is the end of chapter number 13. I'll give you some questions, question homework for the 13.4, number 17, number 22, 27, and then 32. Now for the 22 and 32, they ask only for you to find here consumer surplus. For 32, you are only asked to get producer surplus. Now, add the producer surplus, here find consumer surplus. Because you are given the supply, you are given the demand, so rather than just finding one, find both. Okay? Okay, good. Any question? All right. Now I'm going to give you also a group homework. This is the group homework number 2. Okay, group homework number 2. I would like you to do question number on 13.4. Do question number 24. Okay, do question number 24. That means you have to find consumer surplus. You have to find producer surplus. Now, when I say group, it means the same group as before. Don't change your group. Okay, the same group as the homework number 1. But now, the other person will write. Okay, so if you have, there are only 2 people, right? So the other person write. The other person will prepare. We write, but you discuss, okay? Now the submission, submit as the first homework. That means the person who submit the first homework will submit the second homework. Okay, same person. So that I will have the same order of your group. It'll be easier for me. Kalau the other person submit, the order will be maybe different. Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe the order will be different. I don't want that. I want the order to be the same. So the person who submitted the first homework, you also will submit the second homework. All right? Okay. Any question? Be clear. Okay. Nanti submit salah pula. Okay. Clear ke tak clear? Faham eh? Okay. Now another thing. I want you to, I remind you a few times already about this. But I still have people yang didn't do your name, your full name as in your list, okay, in your registration list. For example, okay, this may not be true for you. I'm just giving you an example because there are a few more people who still didn't follow this thing. Example tau, ini bukannya not necessarily betul. But you have to check lah, whether is it you or is it not. For example, ini example je tau. Sebab I want to see a name. For example, Izzat. Okay? Izzat. You just put your name, Izzat. But your actual name in the registration list, in the class list is not Izzat. Your name is what? Hasbul Izzat. Okay? So, you should put Hasbul lah dulu. Okay? Hasbul, and then Izzat. Macam tu. Okay? Don't put Izzat. So I want you to check your names. There are quite a few people, in here that do this. You put your second name. Now, when you do that, it's difficult for me to check your name because your name is given as Hasbul Izzat. If you just have Z, susah lah saya. I got to check balik. Okay? In the test, there are people like this. And there are a few people who still, doing the same mistake. I remind a few times already, dah penat dah. Kalau ikut ni penat cakap. Tak tahulah. You are just stubborn or you just don't understand or what? I do not know. Okay, but there are still a few people who do. I'm not talking about Izzat ni tau. This is just example tau, bukannya Hasbul Izzat. Okay, Hasbul Izzat may not do this. Okay, this is an example. Saya macam another example, okay, to be fair. Another satu example mungkin Nurul Ain. Okay, this may not be true. Okay, Nurul Ain. You start your name, you letak je hentam Ain. Ain Nabila. Okay, you put there Ain Nabila. Saya check under A tak ada. Because you have a Nurul. So, you should put Nurul Ain. Nabila tak ada, tak apa. What is most important? Your first name, your second name. Because many people have 3 names. Macam saya senang, satu nama je, Alia. 5 huruf je. 5 perkataan, 5 huruf je. Okay, senang cerita. Your name, 3 komponen. Nurul Ain Nabila. Hasbul Izzat. Izzati. Sampai 3. So, what is most important? Your first, your second. Your third name tak masuk pun tak apa. Okay? Alright. Now, this is an example only, for illustration. It may not be true for Nurul Ain or Hasbul Izzat. But okay, if you do that, please make the correction. Because otherwise, if I have to do this a few times, I have to deduct marks. Because for my time. Okay, saya penat saya kena check balik. Okay, and it's not that I have not reminded, I reminded a few times. But there are some people who behave like this. I do not understand why. Okay, faham tak faham? Okay, check your name balik semua tahu. Okay, check your name again. Give me your full. There are still a few. I'm not talking about many people. There are a few. Okay, there are a few. Put your name as per your class list or your registration list. So that will be easier for me. Kalau tidak, you are wasting my time. Dah lah saya nak grade exam pun satu cerita. Nak cari nama pula satu hal. Okay, alright. Okay, good. Any question? Okay. Now, due date I inform you Wednesday. Due date ni sekarang ni tak tahu lagi bila. I will inform you Wednesday the due date. Okay. Alright, good. So that will be it for chapter number 13. What I want to do next is the looking back. We have to look back. There are a few concepts that I missed last time. The concept here is the elasticity of demand. Concept of elasticity. Now, this is an economic concept. Elasticity is on chapter number 11. We go to chapter number 11. This is 11.5. You see there, you have elasticity of demand. So there is only one elasticity that we are looking at. Of course, if you look at economic elasticity, there are so many elasticity. You have the price elasticity of demand, price elasticity of demand. You have the price elasticity of supply. You have the income elasticity of demand, supply, things like that. But for this part, we are looking at only price elasticity of demand. So since we are looking at only one, so we don't have to put the price. We just say elasticity of demand. But what we mean is actually the price elasticity of demand. So here, there should be the word price, but it's okay. We're talking only about the elasticity of demand. All right. Now, what is elasticity? Elasticity, the concept is where it's related to the slope, to slope M. Now, if you recall, what is M? We go back to our basic linear slope, equal to delta y over delta x. Okay, but then y total x, or we can think of it as dy dx. Okay, here, if you're looking at